Welcome to the C2C podcast. I am your host, Derek Anderson. After holding my first event in 2010, I went on to create Startup Grind, a 400-chapter community based in over 100 countries. Along the way, I discovered the greatest marketing tool of all time, your customers. Yet, I couldn't find anyone sharing how to build a community where people could experience your brand in person or at scale. On this show, we talk with the brightest minds and companies on the planet about how to build customer-to-customer marketing strategies and create in-person experiences for your brand and customers before your competitor does. I'm really excited to have our next guest, Tara Eudy, on the podcast. She started off her career in radio and production, but now she works at 99 Designs as their Senior Manager of Design Experience. Take a listen. So, one thing that probably a lot of people don't know about you, and I just learned this about you, and that's that your real name, the name you're known worldwide, or especially across Florida, is Tara Eudy.
Correct.
And so you tell us your previous life, you were a radio personality, and tell us what in the world that was and how that led to what you're doing today in community.
It's been a crazy journey. So I'm originally from a very small town in Missouri. I got really into radio. I wanted to be a radio host for many years. And I did. I hosted a morning show. But where I really got excited was doing voiceover work. And so as a voiceover freelancer, not a lot of people casting out of Southeast Missouri, right? So that's when I started, finding these online marketplaces and looking for places where freelancers could find work. And I was able to work with companies like Disney and Lexus and all of these brands that never would have found me in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. And I just got really excited about that. And I was like, how can I help other people do this? And so that's what kind of led me to, radio took me to Florida. From Florida is when I really started doing a lot of freelancing. I was one of those loud vocal minority people on the forum. And finally, voice123.com, which is a big online casting company, was like, you know what? You should just come work for us. So that's what brought me to Silicon Valley.
Tara, 99 Designs has a really unique model. Could you briefly explain what it is and who are the members of your community?
Of course. Well, 99 Designs is a global creative platform that brings clients and designers together to create designs that they love. Our community of designers is huge. We can brag that we have well over 1 million designers from all over the world, from all different kinds of design.
What do you think has led to that continued growth of the communities? You're going from 500 to 600,000 to 7 to 800. How does it keep growing? How does it keep going?
Well, 99 Designs, I think, as a company is pretty unique because it was born from a community of designers that were running their own little design contests on a forum. And so, we kind of took this idea and said, can we actually sell this? And I think designers not only enjoy the inspiration and the creativity they get from other designers, but it's just, we handle all of that business end of things. We have a lot of people that are great designers, not great entrepreneurs. And so I think that is really why we're growing, is because not only do you get client leads, but you also get support. You also have a platform, a way to collect secure payments. And then you don't have to spend all your time worrying about running a business, but just creating really great design.
Do you have people on the team that specifically focus on tools and programs for the designers, and then people that specifically focus on tools and programs for the customers? Are those people totally separate? Are they integrated? Are they how do you look at that?
Yeah. So my official title is Senior Manager of Designer Experience, right? So anything that touches the designer experience kind of falls under my purview. So it's up to me to kind of bridge those gaps between what the client teams are building, what the marketing team is doing, what our platform, what our business decisions are going to be. That I'm the voice of the designer in amongst all those teams.
It seems like the community part of 99 Designs is a big part of why people use it. And it's because it has this incredible word of mouth effect. I know for me, I've told dozens and dozens and dozens of people to use 99 Designs over the years because, one, I met my co-founder on 99 Designs. He won a design contest for me in 2009. And we worked together and he did an amazing job. We kept working together and I just kept telling people, hey, like I use this thing and I met this amazing designer and he was an engineer and he helped me. And so how does community play into keeping those people on your platform versus them going somewhere else?
Yeah, and our community is fluid. I mean, we do have many people who are making a great full-time living on 99 Designs and they're running their entire business off of 99 Designs. But then we also have a huge portion of designers that kind of come and go whenever they get work from, clients that they've worked with for years, or, a lot of them are actually employed at agencies, things like that. So we understand that's going to happen, but they always seem to come back or participate as more of like hobby and a fun way to do projects that they're really, really inspired and excited about rather than the stuff that their bosses, making them do on a daily basis.
Yeah. One of the other things I've always loved about 99 Designs product was the sort of feedback loop inside the product where you could pick designs and then have your friends and whoever, family and other people on your team just go in and vote and comment. And I wonder, like, that type of feedback that the designers then get. And I mean, you can give the designers feedback, you can get feedback from your friends on the designs that you like. Like, it seems like feedback and just continuing to iterate, get better and better that's really a huge part of great design, but it also seems like a huge part of 99 Designs.
That really is the magic of the platform. And the reason why 99 Designs has been around for 11 years is that we've built a great way to help clients who maybe don't know what they want, aren't even sure what kind of style they want, don't know the right terminology to use, to connect with a designer and not be intimidated by those conversations. And at the same time, the designer can, operate within this sort of protected space where they know they're going to get paid for this work. They know that they have, the team of 99 Designs behind them to help to mediate things and just make it easy to work.
Tell us about 99 Awards. What is that program?
Oh man, 99 Awards was so exciting. This year was our biggest year ever. So this is just an annual sort of community event that we put on to honor some of our, best, most talented, really like unique designers on our platform. This year was the first year that we actually had a jury panel. So we had folks who were big names in the design world on their own actually judge the submissions. And we always have a community favorite too, because that's just fun. But, this year was bigger than better than ever. I'm just blown away with the talent that is coming out of our platform.
What are the metrics that 99 Designs looks at to gauge the health of the community? Like, what metrics are you all, pinned on from an executive standpoint or just to fund the program?
Yeah. For me, my guiding North Star metric, how I know if I'm doing my job well and the community is doing well, is earnings. How much are designers earning on the platform and how are those earnings being distributed? So whenever I'm looking at what my goals are, I want to make sure that more designers are earning more money year over year. So if I can do that, that's healthy to me.
And are you able to track back specifically to the designers that you impacted through the community programs and what earnings they're having? Or is it just earnings overall? Because there's probably everybody in the company in some regard touches earnings, right?
Of course. Yeah, because designers aren't going to earn any money if we aren't bringing in clients, right? So that's largely reliant on our client side marketing to bring in really great clients. So really what programs like 99 Awards and other things that we do in the community is to just show the world the kind of talent that's available and accessible to them, and that design is global and you don't have to find someone, in your local market. You can tap into these other places and get really, really great world-class design affordably.
What do you think about doing over the next 6, 12, 18 months to grow and expand your community? Like, what are you excited about? What do you think's emerging? Like, what interests you right now to kind of introduce in the community or to make bigger and better?
Well, 99 Designs, the product has always been very community driven, right? The contest model was born out of a forum. Then we, heard more and more stories like yours, where from a contest, these clients found designers they wanted to continue working with forever and ever. So now actually 40% of all the work that's being done on 99 Designs is in these one-to-one projects now. It's not, contests are still very cool and still very magical, but we're really focused on bringing designers more direct work. And that was something the community wants. Of course, they don't want to, they want to build these like long-term client relationships where, they just get the client and the client gets them and they have this really great working relationship. So moving forward, we're focusing a lot on like the matching algorithm, right? And a client who has a very strong viewpoint and is looking for a very specific style can easily find just the right designer for that specific thing that they want to get created. The next phase of that, and what I'm really excited about in the next like 6 months or so, is driving API integrations and partnerships.
As you're looking at getting better at your job, what types of things do you do to do that? Share with us, like, how do you educate yourself? How do you grow? Are there people that you look to that you think are really interesting or that are doing innovative things that you try to follow?
I'm gonna give your podcast a plug because
Please.
I listen to it to steal great ideas from other community managers. I love CMX as well. I mean, I've always just been really impressed every time I'm struggling with a difficult problem in my community. As you can imagine, designers have a lot of opinions. And whenever you're kind of talking about these sort of artistic things, it can get very passionate. So we are like any community in that we have a very vocal minority that can sometimes dominate things, right? I can post a question on CMX that's like, hey, how would you deal with a situation like this? And I'm getting all kinds of help and support and, stories of, oh, I did it this way and, it worked out really well, or, whatever you do, don't do this.
99 Designs model has changed as you've gotten more feedback and as you sort of grown with your customers, and you've done a lot of contests in the past, but you also do a lot of direct work and setting up work specifically with the designers. Can you tell us, how does that work, and, how has that evolved over time?
Well, initially it was contests only, right? But now we see that customers, they want to get an idea of who their designer is, like personality-wise and style-wise first. And we feel like our customers are looking for more of a relationship where they can find a designer that they can just, fire off a quick message on a Friday, and by Monday, they know that they're going to have a great, piece of design that they're going to be able to use. So we've really been working on the matching algorithm and how we match clients with just the right designer for the project that they're looking for. And we find now that, customers, when you go to Amazon, right? Like, do you buy the first product that Amazon shows you? Probably not. You probably look through reviews. You look through other, similar items to what you're looking at. And it's the same for designers. You can scroll through and say, oh, this designer style looks pretty cool. I want to reach out to them and kind of get to know them first and then establish a long-term working relationship. And that works great for our customers and definitely for our designers.
And I can do all of that, manage that relationship on top of 99 Designs.
Absolutely. With our, the way our platform works, you've used it enough. You've used it more than I have, actually. So you know how it is, how it's, easy to provide feedback, how, payments are managed for you, all of that stuff.
What about the Meet the Creators program? What is that?
Yeah, this is brand new. In fact, this week, we started this Meet the Creators initiative. And this is just a way to actually, because so many of our designers, we only know them by their screen names. We only know them from the comments they make in our forums and the support tickets they send in. So it was actually our CEO, Patrick, it was actually his idea. And he says, you know what, why don't we pick some of these designers that are really investing a lot of time in giving us feedback on our business and our product? Let's just bring them into our office. Let's spend a week with them. Let's see how they work. Let's let them meet our teams and just get to know them as humans and not just screen names. So this week, we actually had one of our top level designers, and he's one of our forum moderators who does a lot of work for us. We flew him in from Puerto Rico. He spent a week in Oakland. It coincided with San Francisco Design Week. So we bought him lots of tickets to different events across the city. We hosted an event for clients and designers where we talked about the future of work and remote work. And he got to kind of experience our company culture a little bit. I think that was an unexpected benefit that I had anticipated, that he was like, now that I see how you guys work, I see how everyone really enjoys working at 99 Designs and, how the teams function. He didn't expect that. And he said, this is his quote, that it was like the best company culture he's ever seen.
Wow.
And so now what I hope is that he can kind of take that feeling that he got from us and be a great ambassador for us in the forum.
Well, and that's that value of, and we've all experienced this, how different it is in person versus online. And you just, I had a meeting in LA yesterday with somebody who has been very standoffish over email and is very senior inside of a big important company. And meeting them in person, it just sort of changed the entire dynamic of who they were and what their situation was and the relationship that we now have. It just, it's so much easier to empathize with someone that you're sitting across the table from than, reading their Reddit post, the latest post. So that's really cool. Are you going to do it more? Or are you going to bring more of these people in? Are you going to do it around the world, or what are you going to do?
We're doing it around the world.
Yeah.
So we're kind of, as we're figuring out this whole new initiative, we're kind of framing it as a perk for our moderators right now because they just do so much work for us. So another one of our forum moderators will be flying to Berlin in August to our office there to spend a week with the Berlin team, which should be interesting because that's where a lot of our marketing is based. And then we'll have another moderator flying to Melbourne, Australia, probably around December, January. We're still working that piece out. But yeah, we hope to do this on an annual basis. And then my challenge is, how do I recreate that for 1 million designers, right?
Maybe somebody listening to the podcast is going to have that answer for you.
Absolutely.
Because I don't. I have no idea.
It's a tough challenge. And that's something that I think me being fairly new to 99 Designs, I've been around for about a year now, which seems like a long time, but these designers have been around for like 10, right? So we're still figuring out a lot of things, but I think one of the things I can do right away is put some faces behind the people of 99 and really kind of foster a more human connection. So we'll be doing things like, launching some more like Q&A sort of webinars with not just me, who they're used to hearing from all the time, but like, our engineering leads and our product leads and our marketing leads and, helping them feel more connected to us as a company and seeing us more as a business partner for them rather than just, a marketplace where they get client leads, right? Or a middleman.
Makes sense. Thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, please leave a review wherever you listen to this. If you'd like to see more about how to create your own event community, go to bevylabs.com/pod. Again, that's BEVYLABS.com/pod.